Joan Collins. Up next, a very special look at one of Baltimore's hometown heroes.
I was saying that Nancy Clark is my inspiration. She knows so much. She has so much knowledge, and she shares so much with us that we all want to be like her when we grow up.
Now, who would you say are Baltimore's heroes? I suppose people all across the country know folks like Kurt Schmoke and Cal Ripken Jr. or John Waters. But tonight on Evening, we begin a special segment that focuses on people whose audiences are smaller, but their accomplishments are just as significant. Right now, Steve Avison takes the camera crew behind the doors of My Sister's Place for the first time to tell the story of hometown hero Nancy Clark.
There's a myth, like people want to be homeless, people, that, they don't really want to find a place. You hear people saying that, or they could find a place if they want to, but the reality is that there's no low-income housing for people.
There are thousands of homeless people in Baltimore. Many of them are women. At the end of winter, the shelters close, but there is safe haven during the day throughout the year, and Nancy Clark is a beacon of hope inside My Sister's Place.
And we wouldn't know it. All right, so what do we have left?
Nancy Clark is my inspiration. She knows so much. She has so much knowledge, and she shares so much with us that we all want to be like her when we grow up.
On the streets, it is lonely, demoralizing, sometimes challenging to your self-respect. But Nancy Clark and the women who help the other women at My Sister's Place offer warmth and support. It is an island of integrity where you can look for housing, medical help, and a possible job. You don't always leave your troubles behind on the street, but perhaps that's where Nancy does her best work.
No. So what is the matter right now? You know what's the matter? Can you tell me? Compounds itself. It gets harder and harder and harder. And we see women come in here that are fired up. I'm going to get a place to live, and I'm going to get a job. And day by day, you see them drop down. They get depressed. They end up sleeping in a chair, because they find that the reality is that isn't going to do it. You get a $4 job at McDonald's, you can't get a place to live. That isn't going to help. So, they just get depressed, and it gets harder and harder.
Her service is not restricted to My Sister's Place. She has what she calls a chronic social conscience, and that drive to make a difference takes her to other agencies like B. Gaddy's Home for Women and Children.
She can be the advocate for me. She has been. She's been that recruiter. She's been out there for food, clothing, and whatever the needs are. She's just a super person. I'll never forget her. I will never forget Nancy.
People don't forget Nancy Clark because she doesn't forget anyone. She developed a residence called Park Avenue Lodge to provide a home for women trying to move on from sheltered life.
Right now, we're seeing such a tremendous increase in mothers and children that it's just incredible. Some days we'll have 11, 15 little children in My Sister's Place, where in the past we would have one or two. They would come in, we would take care of their immediate needs, and they would be on their way in a week or two into their own place to live. But now there is no low-cost housing available for them.
Do you ever have a feeling of helplessness?
Right now, it's hard. Right now, that word sometimes crosses my mind, although we try not to do that because we always want to be, pushing ahead and assuring people that they're going to make it. Because if we can't assure them of that, then, for them it becomes even more difficult.
A few years back, Nancy Clark spent a long time recovering from cancer. She continued her work by telephone from the hospital. Since that time, there have been many successes, but many problems remain. All challenges worth living for.
This is a fun place sometimes. We'll get the tape going, and we'll do some dancing, and we'll have a good time. We'll have a party, you got to go on. And the women will say that. The women will say, I've got to go on. So you say, okay, we're going to do it together, then we'll go on.
You may wonder with all of Nancy's projects how she has time for her family, but she does. As a matter of fact, she gets her husband, Herb, and the rest of her family kind of involved in the process. A special thank you to the women and staff of My Sister's Place for allowing us inside to shoot that story. Men are not allowed inside, and it is a tribute to their respect for Nancy that we were able to tell her story. If you would like to help out at My Sister's Place and get involved, give a call to our info line.